welcome back to day 2 of the One Road week of Geoguessr, leading up to the blog's launch. Today, we're going to be going to New Hampshire and trying to get some vibes of the different Geoguessr locations here in the state. First of all, I wanted to give a quick apology for this video being a tiny bit on the later end. Had to ruin the daily upload schedule. I did record a segment first yesterday for New Hampshire, but unfortunately all of the audio got corrupted, so I wasn't able to use it with the voiceover. However, I will insert a little clip right here because I did get one round in that game on no moving, panning, and zooming, where I did get a 5K. It was very good. Alright, this is going to be helpful. We've got Yokohama Grill food, Broadway Street, there's a seafood place. This actually reminded me very much of a town right around here. I don't know where Jackson is, but I'm honestly thinking we could be north. We're facing west-northwest, so this does make a lot of sense. See, that's what we're doing. Yokohama, right there, actually. We got the 5K here. Alright. Yeah, that's gonna be the 5K. There we go. Well, that was cool. So now, one thing I am going to do here is change the rules a little bit, where we're going to move from being specifically no moving, panning, and zooming to we're going to do one round of moving, and it's going to be regular Geoguessr rules, 2 minutes, all moving, you can turn around, all that stuff. And then the second one, we're going to do a competitive style 40-second no moving, panning, and zooming. So let's see what we can do here in a much smaller state than Maine, but one that definitely has some very unique types of climate and really differing regions here in New Hampshire. All right, first round here. Looks like we have some really nice autumn coverage here. This could actually be somewhere in the southern White Mountains. In a couple of the rounds that I've had before, this autumn coverage seems to be present in the sort of Laconia, Tilton, Wolfboro, Concord area. I think we're a little bit north of Concord though, because we do have a little bit of elevation here. We've got billboard here, which could be helpful. This is something we did not see in any of our Maine rounds because billboards are illegal in Maine, but not here in New Hampshire. Looks like we've got a few different things here, but I don't think that's going to have a town name on it. We do know we're 1 mile away. Oh, this could be good. We've got Green Mountain Furniture, something we can look for when we pinpoint this. But let's see if we can find exactly what town we're in. Given that it's Green Mountain, no, White Mountain, there we go. Green Mountain was just a little bit of a mix-up there, but Green Mountain could be usually referencing somewhere on the more Vermont side there, given that that's where the Green Mountains are. But White Mountains, we're going to be somewhere more central, I think. Northeast, we're looking at some good mountains there. We're looking at some more good mountains. Southeast, too. So we must be, I would guess, somewhere around this area, maybe Plymouth, kind of where we're looking out at these mountains here. Could be like Bristol area, a bunch of different options here, but let's keep looking for a town name. Got some realty companies here. Looks like none of these are really referencing it, but this could be a post office, perhaps? No, just a real estate company. All right. Ossipee. We're going to be somewhere here, and that's it. We were right on 16, a road we have driven for One Road before. So that's a really good start. Got the right road. My pinpoint did not mark close enough. I was a little fast on it, but that is the road I was going for, so happy to see that. Let's move on to number 2, and we are definitely on the seacoast, as you can clearly tell here. But what town are we on? So we're definitely, this cuts it down pretty small. We're going to be either in Hampton, Rye, Portsmouth, or Seabrook. So one of these 4 towns, definitely pretty easy. And it looks like we're in Hampton Beach State Park, so we're definitely going to be somewhere on the state park. And actually, that looks like it right there. Let's see if we can line up an exact business here. So now that we have that done, we've got Jonathan's Hotel. And somewhere down there, we've got another little business. Let's see if we can catch it. Ram's Landing? I can't quite tell what that says. And I don't think I can cross... Oh, I can cross here. Ron's Landing at Rocky Beach. Alright, let's take a look and see if we can find Ron's Landing here. Looks like JB's, Lupe's, many different places here. Oceanfront Convenience. Given that we're kind of on this little turn point here, I think we're going to be looking somewhere on there. It is very possible, too, that this business is gone at this point, but we're definitely going to be somewhere on this road. See if we can find 7 Gables. Not quite. We've got another motel there. Breakers by the Sea Motel. Let's keep zooming in, see if we can get any sort of answers here. Boardwalk Inn, Pelham Resort, Hillcrest, Atlantic Sands, Riverworks Ocean View. Lots of different places here. It looks like none of them are going to be exactly what we're looking for, though. At least we know we're right here, though. So, we're going to get close. Not exactly, but yeah, and that was just max north of Hampton Beach there. But we got the town right, and that's going to be a 48. Up here, we are definitely looking kind of rural, so this one's going to take a little bit of some extra clues to figure out. With that kind of woodsy log cabin almost architecture there, I think we're going to be fairly north, but possibly like maybe Ossipee and further, I think. Alright, so it looks like we've got a little bit of a lake here. William U. Verrett, Conservation Land, Town of Wyndham. So that is, if I'm not mistaken, quite close down here. Got Ossipee. I have seen Wyndham before. The question is, where exactly is Wyndham? So we can keep looking around here, and I think honestly this might be our best option because we do have a minute left. Definitely going to be good to just find that exact town, see where we can go from there. I think I'm a little bit far west here, but it could be in the west. Not quite sure just yet. Monroe, Franconia, Whitefield, Jefferson. Many of these kind of just right around. I don't think we're going to be this far north, but it is always possible that we could be. I don't think so, though. Wyndham could be down a little bit, in fact. It's very possible we could be just right on the Massachusetts border here. Yeah, there we go. There's Wyndham. Okay, so we're probably going to be right on this pond here. We're looking north to it, which means that we're likely going to be somewhere on this road. Possibly Lakeshore, Turtle Rock. I think Turtle Rock looks good. And we're actually on Canopy Lake, right across from Canopy Lake Park there. But still, 4,600. Very nice score there. Up next, it looks like this could be somewhere right along, I'm going to guess the Androscoggin. Because we're looking pretty far north, big mountains south, which means that that's going to be where things like Mount Washington are. We might be somewhere right on the Androscoggin here, since we are looking at the river going north-south here. Let's try and get a little bit of a view of this winding dirt road. We know we're not on 16, but I'm going to make a wild guess that 16 is on the other side of the river there. Moving north, looks like the dirt road kind of goes away from the major part of the river there, but still follows along it. If we can get any sort of exact pinpoint for where on the Androscoggin we're going to be, that would be nice. And again, not entirely sure this is the Androscoggin quite yet. I just am very familiar with this river in particular because of the fact that we have done three, now that I mention it, 3 different blog posts on the Androscoggin. We've done 2 following New Hampshire 16 and Maine 16, and also the second half of Maine Route 2 also follows the Androscoggin a little bit. Looks like we could be not Route 16, but since we're on the the western side of this river. I don't actually think we're on 16. Could be not the Androscoggin because of the fact that everything here seems like it kind of looks a little bit too far west here. Let's go back to the beginning. Take one more look at how we're going here. We are facing north. We could just be down on one of these tiny little side roads. I like where I went, but looks like we were not on the Androscoggin. We were actually on the upper Amanuthik. I've actually never heard of that river before. It seems like it's the one that goes right through Northumberland there. We're on to the next round. Looks like we're in another kind of suburb area. Could be pretty far south. Could be in sort of Concord, Portsmouth, Manchester, Peterborough area. Heavens gas, that's not going to be too helpful right now. What we need now is a town name. Nope. Sometimes you gotta look for buildings that look a little bit like post offices, and that one could have been one. Looks like 293 north, so we're gonna be in this sort of region here, Manchester Concord area. Sounds good. But big quad. Oh, wait, we can look at the bins. It's always a good strategy for anyone who's trying to get some Geoguessr knowledge. Looking at the trash bins actually has a lot of good answers for kind of where we might be. If I can't see anything here, if we don't have an exact town name, we're gonna hopefully get to 93 pretty soon and be able to just map it out to whatever exit we're on. In fact, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Oh, it's backing up a little. I'm not sure what's going on. There we go. Alright, looks like we are on 93. We're going to be somewhere between Auburn and Boston, so we are right around here. Only 6 miles away from Auburn here, so we could be in the Manchester area. Let's see what that sign says. Manchester Airport in Bedford is just a mile away. Let's see if we can find that airport. That looks like it right there. We are on 93, so that makes a lot of sense. We could be right before the 293 split. Let's see, right there. Oh, and looks like we were just right in Manchester, but we did get the right city there. So a very good score there. 4,300. All in all, we got over a 20k, so that's definitely going to be the best score that we have so far in this series. Very nice. Little breakdown here. The only one that was a little bit off was this river guess up in Coos County, but Coos County is just so notable for being kind of just empty. A lot of dirt roads, a lot of roads right along rivers, and a lot of really beautiful mountains, so very, very fun to see that. Other than that, we've got a lot of southern ones right around these cities, so some more urban rounds than we saw in the main one. And we're going to give ourselves 40 seconds. A little bit of a challenge here. Take a look at the pictures. Alright, so it looks like we're going to have someplace a little bit north, I'm going to guess. Really nice road, however, given that it's so gravelly on the sides, and given just how kind of overgrown the forests are here, I honestly think we might be north of the White Mountains. We are facing northwest, so we could be on Route 2. That might be kind of where I'm leaning, because I think that 110 wouldn't have quite as nice roads unless they had literally just paved them, so which is possible. But I think we're going to be probably between this kind of Route 2 area. I'm going to guess for a northwest right here. And wow, we were actually quite south. That was right around the Grafton area. But yeah, that was a little bit of a assumption there, trying to figure where that woods would be, but without seeing any mountains, you can't really angle yourself to an exact point. That just kind of went on vibes. Up next, we are right on a highway, and unfortunately, I don't think we've got an exact name of the highway here, but I'm gonna guess that we're on 93. However, now that I look at it, this does actually look very similar, given its 3 lanes, to a place on 95. So it's not unlikely that we're actually right around here. Given that we're just getting on the highway right here, that 33 Greenland Road does go over the highway. I don't know how well it lines up on that side, though. I do think that we're going to be on 95, though, here. And actually, we were all the way over on Route 3. Route 3, the Everett Turnpike, being a really risky one there. Route 3 is a road that I'm planning on doing for one road at some point, but from Boston all the way up to about Manchester, Route 3 is incredibly urban, and so it looks very much like an interstate. Definitely something you don't see too often outside of a few places like Route 1 in Boston. Up next, we've got another real tough one here. Once again, don't have any mountains. I mean, the cloud cover we can kind of look to be like, maybe that's kind of around Mount Washington. Mount Washington has a lot more storms than anywhere else, but I don't think that we're going to be in this section. I honestly think best guess I can do would be right around sort of the south of Conway region. But we don't have a lot of roads to go off of, and it's definitely going to be one of these like tiny white roads. Could be anywhere in the state really, though. I'm going to go with down here. I think that you'd probably get a few more mountains if you were down there, but yeah, that's actually, I will take that. That's decently close. We were on the other side of Winnipesaukee here. Here's what we're looking for. Here's some really good mountains. We're looking east-northeast, so most likely going to be down sort of in this region. I would guess Campton maybe. One of these right around 93, but not quite right in it. That's going to be Aylesworth there, so probably not that. We are going pretty high up, though. We are kind of on a plateau here, looking east. Could be on 118. A lot of these roads just go through valleys, though, which is the risky bit. So I'm not entirely sure. Let's go a little bit south here. And it was actually just quite north. That's right around Dixville Notch, very famous sort of mountainous region here. And again, these tiny white roads are going to be really hard to get. Score's not looking too great here, but hopefully we can bring it back with this last one. We do look fairly urban, definitely look to be within a town. I honestly think we could be in Merrimack. That sign definitely begins with an M. I'm not entirely sure where that could be, but Merrimack would make sense, or sort of the Nashua area. In fact, I'm confident enough I might just stick it somewhere here in Merrimack. We are facing west-northwest, which would make sense for this lake road here. And it looks like we do have the town hall. Could be that. Could be Merrimack Public Library. That could be a little bit of wishful thinking, but it looks like it really was. That was actually Plymouth, up here on the Pemigewasset River. That, once again, being on Route 3, again, Route 3 really doesn't look that way on any other places. Let's see what we were actually looking at here. We were actually looking at the Museum of the White Mountains, which would have been a lot better to guess there, and we do have these mountains back to our south. So, not a great round, all in all, but still alright. It's a lot harder to do this on NMPZ, and like you saw at the beginning, it is uncommon, but possible, to find 5Ks on this. So, anyways, with that, thank you for watching. We will move away from New Hampshire, and tomorrow move on to Vermont. In fact, actually, that video will be coming out later today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later today for Vermont.